Okay, so this week, BDO released season servers on PC along with this pretty nifty little video that pretty much sums up what they think season servers are. Now, having played on them for the last 2 days, I have picked up a couple of hints and tips that I want to share with you guys, but bear with me because I'm going to be doing this with minimal editing. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm just trying to get this video out as quickly as possible, and hopefully it'll help you guys to have a bit more of an enjoyable experience as you're progressing through the seasonal server. It's probably more beneficial to newer players, but there are some things that existing veterans will be able to pick up from this as well. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so first of all, let's start with something really simple that you may or may not have overlooked. If you're looking up here, you'll see the seasonal channels that you can play on, but I'm actually on Medea 6. Now, this is a seasonal character. It's not just a normal character that I am playing on. It is my seasonal character. You can be on any one of these channels. You don't actually have to play on the season channels. Now, the benefit of playing on the season channels are you get that experience buff and you get the skill buff, and you also get those drops that you need to progress your gear. Now, we'll go over why that's not a big deal when you're leveling and getting through the story in a moment. But first of all, the biggest tip is get off those season servers. There is no point in contesting for grind spots. There's no point in contesting for quest objectives. You can complete the entire quest off of that server. You don't have to be there to reach your objectives. You can do it all. So I've not played on the season server at all, and as you'll see, I've already progressed a fair bit of the way through these seasonal objectives, and literally it's been uncontested. The other spots have been empty because everybody's on the season channels. So first tip for you players is get off those season channels. You do not need to be on there until you need to start grinding for materials later. Okay, so the second tip is revolving around your gear and your materials. Like you'll see here, I've got a ton of the time-filled blackstones, the refined magical blackstones, and the Tavala ore. Now, I haven't enhanced any of this gear. It's all still sat in my inventory. It's all still sat in boxes. I haven't bought any of it. I've got it all from the quest line. And the reason being is that you can use the normal quest gear on this server. If you already have these items, things like the Valiant Caton's boots, the Forest Eye earrings from the Camasylvia quest line, the red sand crystals, your black abyssal weapon that you can upgrade to the obsidian abyssal, the sandstorm shuriken or the sandstorm offhands that you can get from the Valencia questline, even your Asula gear, you can use all of this gear. So the best thing to do is, if you've got access to this, just throw it all on your character. Don't worry about enhancing this Tavala gear yet. You really don't need to. So 170 AP is easily accessible. There are the two pieces of Tavala that I've got, the Pen Tavala ring and the Pen Tavala earring, and both of those have come completely free from progressing through my levels. You get one at 60 and one at 61. So essentially what I'm saying to you is you really don't need to worry about being on those servers and getting those stones early on to progress this gear if you can just go through the quest line. Just as if you were to level on the normal servers, you can get through the entire quest line without needing much gear at all. You can get it all as you're progressing and as you're questing and leveling up. So don't rush to get your Tavala gear. Now, there will get to a point where you want to upgrade that gear. You do want to upgrade your Tavala. Ultimately, your goal is to get as many pen pieces as you possibly can while you're on this server, if you're a player looking to use the gear in the long term. Getting everything to pen will put you around 240 AP, which is a really solid spot to be finishing at the end of 3 months. If you're a veteran, then you're probably not going to get as much benefit from here, and you might just be there for the odd piece or to pick up the pen that you get at the end for doing all of the dailies. But for those new players, returning players, and people looking to enhance their Tavala gear, there are other things available to you. So every day you're going to get a quest from Fugar himself. It's literally just to talk to him, and he's going to give you stones for that. Another thing to notice is that you might not have already picked this up, but if you go to your Black Spirit, there will be a weekly quest available. Now, these weekly quests, they are something that you're probably not going to want to do in one sitting because it is to kill 5,000 mobs. But it is places like Garhars, there's one for Polyforest, Ronorus, Bloodwolves, there's Nagas, there's Fogans, there's Pilaku, there's plenty of these around. But the main thing here is that they give you a decent amount of stones, some ore, and some of the refined magical blackstones. So it's definitely worth doing them. That alone as well is going to help to massively increase your stockpile of materials. Like I said, I've not been on the season server. I've not been grinding on the season server, and I'm already at 1600 thanks to the pre-event creation and also a coupon code. I'll put the coupon code in the description of this video for you. If you do want to use it, it's going to get you some free stuff. But like I said, you're not in a rush to get on those servers and grind. It's much more efficient to get yourself to a decent gear level and a decent actual character level before you look to start going on those servers and dealing with the horrendous contested grind spots. And they are horrendous. You're talking about everybody being there. So letting people sort of thin out, get sick of things, and just generally DOS around is going to really help you when it comes to enhancing. Now, another tip, specifically when it comes to enhancing gear, is to avoid accessories first. Get your weapons done first, then get your armor done next. The reason being is the accessories cost more to volley or to buy, and they also disintegrate like normal accessories when you fail. So definitely leave the accessories to last. As I said, you can get things like this from the quest line anyway while you're playing through. The Triforest earring, you're talking about the difference of 2 AP. Yeah, there's 1 accuracy drop as well, but it's not significant. You're better off just doing this to begin with. Definitely do not go for accessories to start with. I would start getting your weapon, your main hand, and your offhand first of all. Probably the offhand being the better choice because it is equivalent of Kutum, so it's going to help with the grind speed. It's going to give you that extra AP against monsters. But if you have the Sandstorm as well, the Sandstorm's a really good offhand. It's not as good as the Kutum, but it's still worth having. The other thing to note as well is when you are enhancing, the amount that you need is going to be different to when you're enhancing on a normal server. So it does actually take more than just 1 stone to enhance once you start getting to the higher levels. So keep this in mind, that what looks like a huge stockpile of materials isn't actually a huge stockpile of materials. So even at +7 to 8, you're going to require 8 time-filled blackstones. So don't just think that you've got more than enough and you're going to be able to just sit there and mass enhance, because before you know it, you will be out of materials. With that in mind, you have 2 different types of stones. You have the time-filled blackstones and you have the refined magical blackstones. Now the refined magical blackstones, they give you a guaranteed enhance up to try for 10 at pry, 20 at duo and 30 at try. The cost of this is that they're going to reduce the piece of gear by 50 durability. So it's worth noting that for 50 durability, you're going to then have to get more pieces of the Tavala using your ores, and you're going to use that to then repair it. Thankfully, again, with the armor and the weapons, it's cheaper than the accessories. It's only going to be 1 ore per piece of gear, whereas the accessories, they are going to be 5. So again, that's going to be the more costly and the more expensive route. So definitely look at getting your main pieces and your weapons done first. Also, when it comes to using the refined magical blackstones, be aware that you're going to fail a lot of tet to pen attempts. So using these to go back to try, if you're failing that try to tet, is going to be one of the most efficient or cost efficient ways of using these stones. It's going to stop you from needing to use as big a fail stacks, and it's going to help you with building stacks. So keep that in mind and don't just waste these. Don't throw them at pry to duo. There's just no point in using 10 of these on a pry to duo that can't downgrade, costing yourself 50 durability. It's a complete and utter waste. Okay, so the last 2 things that I want to go over are related to the Oasis Vendor and to Fugar himself. So first of all, the Oasis Vendor, you'll find him next to the stables in most cities, or her. It does vary depending on which city. Forget the Oasis gear at the top. What you're looking at here is the fact that the food buffs are available, the carrots for your horse, the travel map, and the compass for when you get into the desert. So definitely just remember that they're there and take advantage of it. So if you look here as well, you'll find that the simple cron meal has 20% combat and 10% skill experience. So it's not quite as good as the energizing cron when it comes to the other perks in terms of damage output, but there are also some nice benefits there to be used. And then you've got seafood cron if you're doing live skilling. And it's just worth noting that these are here, they're dirt cheap. Everything on the marketplace is extremely inflated or sold out because people are massively buying things for this season server. And the last thing is Fugar, and it's again related to enhancing and your fail stacks. Now Fugar, you've probably noticed, has got a ton of these things. These quests are literally just a case of enhancing. As soon as you've enhanced a piece of gear to try or tet, you bring it over to this guy and he's going to give you fail stacks. He gives you 60 for a tet and he gives you a 40 stack for a try piece of gear. So as soon as you get one of these up here, just come and grab your stacks. use these stacks to then push your next piece of gear, so pushing your next piece of gear to try, or your next piece of gear to tap. It's worth noting though, if you want to be really smart about it and you want to avoid using your stacks as much as possible, get a bunch of your gear to duo for your normal stones. Use those magical stones, the guaranteed try attempts, to avoid using that duo to try stack, and then do that on all of your gear. Come over, grab all of these stacks, and you're already set up then with a decent amount of 40 stacks for when you want to start doing accessories and when you want to start then progressing towards pen. You've also got those 60 stacks from the Tets, so keep those in mind. If you've got Valks, you can then turn the 60 stacks into 70s, which are spot on for doing pen on this server. If you don't have Valks and you are a fan of grinding, the time-filled Blackstones, 40 of them can be turned into one Valks cry. So to get a 60 stack to a 70 stack, you would need 400 of these stones, and on average, grinding in an uncontested or semi-contested spot, you can get between 300 and 400 an hour relatively comfortably. But that's pretty much all I've got for you right now. I hope some of those tips were useful. I hope I've managed to cover a couple of things that people weren't necessarily aware about. Like I said, I've been really enjoying my time on this server. We've set up the guild, so the guild is called Avoid Fate. For people that are playing on EU that do want to be a part of the community and do want to join, I'm going to put the Discord link to the server. It's both for the YouTube channel's community and also for the guild. Just grab me on that Discord and we'll get an invite out there to you. There are no requirements, it's just purely social at the moment. There's no big ambitions, no big dreams. It's just a place for everybody to come together and have a bit of fun. I will be doing an enhancing video in the next couple of days. I'm hoping for around Monday, where I'm literally just going to blow through everything and see how many pen attempts I can get and how many pen items I can get, and also run through how I'm enhancing. So if you are not 100% sure on what you should be doing or how you should be enhancing, it might be worth waiting for that video, or again, just join that Discord, throw me a message and I'll be more than happy to help out. Cheers for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.